Welcome back. You're watching Ozarks tonight. I'm glad you're staying with us. I'm David Oliver. We're joined tonight by one of our regular contributors here on the broadcast, Springfield Police Chief Paul Williams. Chief Williams, it's good to see you, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me on in this unique format.
Well, yes, you're joining us via Skype, and I appreciate you giving us some of your time. I know that you're busy right now leading your department. I'm going to ask you the first question I'm asking all my guests right now. I'm going to ask you how you are and how your department is, and I'm asking you that in two parts because I want to know how you and your department are with regard to dealing with the pandemic, but also dealing with the tragic loss of Officer Walsh less than 3 weeks ago now.
Yeah, it's a double unique situation for us. So I'll answer the first part as far as the pandemic. I think we're doing well. I visit with a lot of my peers around the country, and we are much better shape than most departments around the country. We've got about a dozen people on quarantine right now. We have had no positive tests of COVID-19 in the police department. So even with all the physical contact and lack of social distancing, if you will, in police calls for service, we haven't seen those effects yet. I am concerned, as anyone else is. I don't think we've peaked yet, and so we have a number of contingency plans in place should those numbers change as we move forward. As far as the second part, the second part of your question, Chris's death, we are all still dealing with that grieving process, and we haven't really had a chance to recover from that because everything else that's going on is we've kind of been thrust into it. So I'm extremely proud of the men and women here that they are continuing to go to work every day and do what we do to keep people safe while dealing with that as well, and have seen no drop off, distraction, or negative impact as far as the calls for service and what the service provider our citizens. But absolutely, people are still affected by it. It's something that hadn't happened here in Springfield in 80 years. So, and I'll be honest, I hope it doesn't happen for another 80.
I think none of us will ever forget as well seeing the folks lined up along Battlefield Road for that procession 2 weeks ago this Saturday. Yeah, that was something to see. Let me ask you, getting back to what you all are doing over there, reiterate for our viewers what's going on with your department with regard to the stay-at-home order, and do you think people are actually obeying that order?
Yeah, so I think they are. So as far as police operations, we put some different protocols in place. We've closed one of our stations. The headquarters is still open on some limited hours for people to come in and conduct business. We're asking people to provide a little more information when they call 911, and then be respectful of physical distancing when they interact with officers. Try to keep that 6-foot distance when officers are talking to them. Other than that, it's kind of business as usual on the response side. As far as the stay-at-home order, I think people are. I saw the numbers from traffic management that traffic counts were down 40% last week. I think they're down more than that now. As I drive the streets, it's certainly there's a lot less people out, and that's good. On the business side of things, the police department is forced to do the enforcement action should people violate the stay-at-home, either a business that's open that's been declared non-essential or people just out and about for no reason. We have yet to write a ticket to a business for not following the order. That doesn't mean that we're addressing 10 to 25 calls a day or visiting businesses a day, but those discussions have gone very well. And if there's a concern, we're able to direct them to other city departments, kind of appeal the decision. But the final decision has been met with support by whoever we're dealing with. And as far as citizens, I'm sorry, I still get a lot of calls about people going, I've got my business papers saying I'm essential, so when the officers stop me, I'll be able to show them. We're not requiring that. We're not asking for that. We're not issuing anything like that. And we're certainly not stopping people for no other reason than to see if they should be out. If you are stopped for another reason, though, be prepared to answer that question and be able to really tell the officer where you're going, why you're out, and make sure that it's not just because you want to be out driving around.
We got about 2 minutes to go here, Chief. I do want to talk about the fact, though, that we are seeing, as you mentioned, less traffic on the roads. But what we are seeing, in fact, we did some reporting on this yesterday on Color 10. We're seeing folks speeding out there. I know you guys are kind of watching that, and I was really shocked to hear how fast some people are going, according to your officers. What are your thoughts on that issue?
That was an unanticipated collateral effect of what's going on. And visiting with my traffic officers today, what they're seeing is there's less traffic, there's more open space, and people are unfortunately taking advantage of that and doing 60 miles an hour down National or down Sunshine instead of 40, which requires us to go out and do some traffic enforcement. I can't emphasize enough, it's still about being safe, whoever's out there. The laws are in place for a reason. We're not not enforcing things because of everything else we're dealing with. Normal traffic enforcement, normal crime enforcement is still ongoing. And so people just need to be respectful and follow the traffic laws as they have in the past.
I'm going to ask you my final question here, and I pose the same question to Greene County Sheriff Jim Arnott as the top law enforcement officer in Greene County. Sir, you're the top law enforcement officer here in Springfield. What do you say to people right now who are looking to our leaders, people who are concerned and worried about the future? I know that folks look to you as a leader. So what is your advice to people who are concerned right now?
My first thought would be, yes, we should be concerned. I know people are going to be worried, but you know what? We're going to come out of this just fine because this community bands together when crises happen, and we come out at the other end even better than we went in. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we are blessed with a myriad of community leaders in this community that would be well served anywhere in the country. And I don't think that there are a lot of communities that can boast that. So look to those folks in all across the spectrum, from medical and health to government and business leaders, and say, thank you. We're thankful you're here. We're thankful you're doing the things you're doing. And as a community, we absolutely support each and every one of you and the efforts that you're taking to keep all of us safe during the pandemic.
Well, I think that could be said for you and your department as well. Police Chief Paul Williams, thank you for your time. Be well to you and your department. And we're going to check back with you maybe in a couple of weeks for an update. I know our viewers are thirsty to hear from their leaders right now. So I appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you, David.
Okay. More Ozarks tonight after this quick break.